attack at a San Diego trolley station. We'll hear from one of the victims, plus what kind of security they have here.
A dispute growing here at Canyonside Ranch between the current leaseholders and people who board their horses here. Hear both sides of the story.
Plus, does the federal government really ban collecting rainwater? We verify.
A UCSD professor's opera is nominated for a Grammy.
And meet the oral surgeon looking for a first responder to provide a full dental makeover.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. A 74-year-old man is recovering tonight after another man attacked him at a trolley station on the way to an Aztecs basketball game. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan in for Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Anna Laurel sat down with the victim and his wife today. She reports from the Fenton Parkway trolley stop where Saturday's attack happened. And we want to warn you that some of the pictures of the man's injuries are tough to look at.
We've been looking into what kind of security there is for our public trolley system. Out here on Saturday night, it was pretty busy with a lot of people going to the Aztecs basketball game. I spoke with a woman whose husband was attacked, his jaw broken. She doesn't want to go on camera. She's so shaken up, but she does want to share her story so people know what happened to her at a trolley station.
His right jaw was broken in 2 places. His left ear fell against a rock wall, and it's all mangled up and torn, and he had some brain bleeds.
This is what happened to this woman's husband after she says a man attacked him while they waited for a trolley Saturday night.
He has clamps on his jaw.
She says she took a picture of this man after she saw him yelling at someone and stealing his phone. But then he marched over to where she and her husband stood.
He gave me the finger. I can't remember what he said. I'm scared. He points to my husband and says, "Does he belong to you?" And he walks right over. He just punches him. He just punches him.
She says he then shoved another man to the ground near her.
There's a male at this location yelling at people and trying to take their phones, and they're now requesting medics.
You can hear the report over the police scanner.
At this point, he did 242 somebody with his fist.
The man was last seen walking into the IKEA parking lot.
He wasn't right in the head, and he was ready to fight with anybody.
And can you make contact with them and see?
After Saturday's attack, I called San Diego's transit system to ask about security, and they invited us inside their command center.
We have cameras everywhere within our stations, on our vehicles, both bus and rail. We have over 10,000 cameras on the system. CEO Sharon Cooney says crews monitor surveillance cameras 24/7. 6 to 9 cameras are on every trolley car, inside and out, and all over trolley stations. 200 security personnel patrol and will ride in the trolley, but there's not always a guard at every station. The woman whose husband was attacked says the district attorney's office called and said they're looking for the man in the pictures. Now, as she tries to help her husband of 52 years heal, she says their days of riding the trolley to Aztec games are over.
I don't think my kids would let me.
At the Fenton Parkway trolley station, Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
The latest now on breaking news from Bonita, where efforts to rescue a dog that fell into a deep hole are moving into a 3rd hour.
Right now, first responders and rescue teams, you can see them right there. They're still working on getting the dog out. This is a live picture there. They say the dog fell down a 60-foot hole at a home on Vista Drive and Bonita Glen Drive. This all happened just after 3 o'clock. According to officials, the dog is a large breed, kind of like a German Shepherd. They also say the dog doesn't live at this home, but somehow got into the yard and then fell into the hole.
He just out here playing around, running free, and then walked over to that way, and he just slipped past the green and fell into the giant hole.
Of course, we're going to keep updating you as soon as more information comes into our newsroom.
Man accused of going on a shooting spree and killing one person is facing a number of charges tonight, including first-degree murder. 22-year-old Jaime Gonzalez pleaded not guilty today. Investigators say the shootings began around 8 Friday night in Spring Valley, then moved to Encanto and Bay Terraces. Police say Gonzalez shot multiple people and killed one man. He was arrested 2 hours later, and police say he had a ghost gun in his car. He is being held without bail.
The man accused of stealing and trying to sell a Utah family's dog is pleading guilty. 40-year-old Johnny Smith was in court for his arraignment today. He's facing theft charges after police say he stole Chancho right there from the Grillo family in August of last year while they were camping in San Diego. We were there when Chancho reunited with the family. They drove from Utah back to San Diego to get him. San Diego vendors will now need a permit if they want to sell on sidewalks in coastal areas. City park rangers say they started fully enforcing the sidewalk vending ordinance today in Point Loma, Ocean Beach, Mission Beach, and Pacific Beach. They've been doing so in the Gaslamp Quarter since December. The San Diego City Council approved the ordinance in 2022. Vendors now have to pay $38 a year for a permit or face fines.
Tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing for a new concealed carry gun law in the wake of recent mass shootings across the state. Attorney General Rob Bonta is also supporting the proposal. Our political reporter Morgan Reiner has more tonight on what that tougher law would involve.
This bill was originally introduced last year in response to a Supreme Court ruling which said that you do not have to show cause in order to get a concealed carry permit. But the California bill had an urgency clause in it which required a 2/3 vote, so it failed. This time around, it doesn't have that clause, so it requires a simple majority, and Newsom says it will pass.
Senate Bill 2 will require someone who is applying for a concealed carry permit to be 21 years old to list all prior arrests, to provide 3 references to help determine if an applicant is dangerous, and a licensing authority will be required to deny anyone that they believe is reasonably likely to be a danger to themselves or others.
It's a point of contrast that we're living in a moment in time when you have states like Florida moving in the exact opposite direction. Was stored earlier this week, the governor of Florida wants to move without any permits or any consideration, no requirements whatsoever, none for training. Why should you be trained?
The bill also prohibits anyone from carrying more than 2 guns at a time and prohibits people from carrying guns in sensitive areas like school campuses, medical buildings, public transportation, or anywhere where alcohol is sold. But it does allow someone, like a business owner, to put up a sign on their property that says guns are allowed here.
And this is to put a strong bill on the governor's desk that's going to withstand the legal challenge that's sure to come. And by having that provision, you can't argue that it's a total prohibition. You can't argue that it's somehow so prescriptive that people can't have some sovereignty over the issue. And I think that's a legal nuance that I think helps it with constitutional muster.
Newsom is confident.
I would be signing this legislation. I don't think that. I know that. So you can ask me how, I just do.
Republicans, on the other hand, say why not enforce the 100 laws that are already on the books? In a statement, State Minority Leader Brian Jones said in part that felons freshly back on the street continue to possess guns, known prohibited persons still have them, illegal firearms proliferate, and our databases remain inadequate. As the executive branch, Governor Newsom and Attorney General Bonta are responsible for enforcing those laws.
Newsom wanted to make it clear that this bill is not in response to any of the recent mass shootings in California. Instead, it's a response to an overall pattern, a pattern he says that California's gun laws are working to solve. He points to the CDC, which shows that California has the 7th lowest firearm mortality rate in the country.
All right, Morgan, thank you. After last week's wind and rain, City of San Diego crews are taking down big trees that are in danger of falling on their own.
Wind and rain knocked down 35 trees in Balboa Park last week. One fell on a woman. She suffered minor injuries. This giant eucalyptus in Balboa Park came down this morning. It was leaning pretty badly. City crews cut it down piece by piece. We're told the entire tree will be repurposed for other areas of the park.
The bigger chunks, the trunks and such are being taken to the Miramar Greenery. Well, they'll be turned into wood chips and other products out there. So
the city says it's been focused on cutting down trees in high traffic areas.
Some lanes at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry will be closed tomorrow ahead of some construction. 2 northbound vehicle inspection lanes will be blocked off from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They were closed today during the same hours. The General Services Administration says they have to close the lanes for the carbon concrete paving project. Expect to go slow and watch out for traffic signs. The work should be done by Friday.
All right, still ahead. Is it against federal law to collect rainwater? Can we verify that?
Plus, the San Diego professor among this weekend's Grammy nominees.
We had clear skies for today, and that's going to keep going all the way into tonight. So we also have a current temperature of 57 degrees for downtown. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the rest of the night has in store coming up.